I'm Debbie Wysocki from Florida Luxury Homes Group, part of Keller Williams East Fort Lauderdale, and I am coming to you with a market update, so to speak. And we are on September 23rd, 2020, and I wanted to share with you a little bit about what's going on from both the buyer and seller's perspective. And this information comes from Keeping Current Matters, and Keeping Current Matters is, they take, I guess, the vibe of the market, so to speak, from the nation's top 100 economists. And these are economists from National Association of Realtors, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, CoreLogic, Bank Rate Monitor, people like that. So I'm going to share with you some of the statistics that I recently reviewed that just came out in the last few days, and what it means to both a seller, a buyer, someone thinking about entering the market from an investor's perspective, and what we can expect in the future according to them, and how you might take that into account depending on your situation, what you're thinking about doing, okay? So the inventory, okay? The traditional market, which traditional market means if you're entering the market, the trade-up market, usually generally in Fort Lauderdale at least, up to about $750,000, our inventory is incredibly short. And really in this market, we would say the first couple levels or first couple tiers of the luxury market, we're seeing it to be a little tight, and we're down about 38% actually total over average, and that's a national number, okay? So when I'm giving you numbers, these are all national numbers because that's what Keeping Current Matters reports on. And showings are up dramatically since May. And of course, when you show more homes, you're gonna sell more homes, right? Because the more people see, the more people buy. And in fact, the last 2 months sales, so this would be for July and August, we're up over 16% over the previous year. 16% on average over last year, over 2019. Now that is amazing. In a pandemic situation, it was hard for me to believe. And if you see me looking down, it's because I took some bullet point notes, okay? So I interpreted this that if you like a home, you really should put an offer in. And what we're seeing in Fort Lauderdale is there are a lot of multiple offer situations, and that's great if you're a seller. But if you're a buyer and you like a home and you say, well, I just want to go home and think on it, I wouldn't do it because you're probably going to lose that home. And as an aside, I have a buyer, rather a seller, who were pricing their home to sell, and when I was doing the comps on it, and this is a luxury home in about the $2.4 million price range, their home is the only home east of the Intercoastal and walkable to the beach. Now there were several homes in a 1 mile radius, but you can't walk to the beach. They're west of the Intercoastal, so that is great for them. Okay, so you have to kind of take everything into consideration. So I expect that home to have multiple offers on it. Okay, so what projections for future home sales is up next? So sales are expected to be in the 3.5 to 4.5% growth range, according to Zillow, NAR, and Fannie Mae economists for the rest of the year. So that is great news. Now, Frank Martell, who is president and CEO of CoreLogic, and we use CoreLogic a lot at our Keller Williams office and 3 others that our operating partner owns. He analyzes the data from multiple real estate boards, and he crunches the numbers and then gives us data that we can really use to show our clients what's happening in the real estate market. And he said that even in the pandemic, the housing market has remained rock solid and strong. And as realtors, we actually have seen that. And forbearance is leveling off, and that is great news. And we saw that over the past month. Consistently, it has leveled off. So while COVID will definitely lead to a rise in mortgage deficits and some foreclosures, initially when the pandemic hit, we thought there was going to be a flood of defaults. It looks like it's going to be more of a trickle. So obviously, and unfortunately, there are going to be some people that will lose their jobs permanently. We're not going to see that flood that we thought we would see. So that is great news overall for the real estate market. So now one thing we're seeing in Fort Lauderdale is we're seeing people moving from the big cities, and that means, or very densely populated cities. So I'm getting a lot of phone calls from New Yorkers and Boston and Chicago, and they're looking either, number one, to rent 6 months while they shop for their perfect home because they haven't been to Fort Lauderdale before and they don't know what areas they want, or they are having me take them on FaceTime tours and they're making an offer sight unseen and moving down. So that is just in line with what Doug Duncan says, and he is the chief economist of Fannie Mae. He said that they are seeing some early signs of shifting buyer preference to move to less density areas. So definitely Fort Lauderdale is a less dense area than New York, Chicago, or Boston. Okay, so to really summarize this, if you are looking to sell, it's a great time because we have historically low interest rates. So you're going to have buyers who are able to afford more home, right? Nationwide sales for this year are expected to close 1.1% higher than 2019. And 2021 is expected to be higher than 2020, somewhere between 8 and 12%. And for buyers, that's awesome for you because you are going to get more house at the same price. Your same monthly payment will be unchanged. In fact, they say, the economists, the top 100 economists of the housing market, say that on average, you can buy a house worth $32,000 more nationwide with today's interest rates. Okay? Now, one last thing that I wanted to share with you, that the housing affordability index today is at 164. In 1990, it was 108. Now, the higher the index, the more affordable it is. So today, a person can buy a better house, a bigger house, and it's less expensive. And that is great news. So it's really a win-win right now for both buyers and sellers. And perhaps even those ready to invest. If you're ready to invest in a second property, a vacation home, if you have any questions about the information I've shared with you today, feel free to give me a call, 954-579-5720, or you can email me. The email will be down below. And I'm here to assist you in your real estate journey and reach your real estate goals. So bye for now. Debbie Wysocki. Have a great day.